Hi everyone, Daisy here with my November and December 2020 layout share. I just realized I never did my November layout share, so I'm just going to combine both of them together. And I hope you enjoy it. I got quite a few layouts done for those 2 months, so we have a lot to go through here. And I, yeah, we're just going to kind of get into this. I am not feeling very well, so I'm sorry if like you can hear it in my voice or whatever, but I'm going to try to get through this quickly. And I just wanted to get this video done and shared. I did get a new microphone for Christmas, which I'm super excited about. It's a Blue Yeti microphone. I told them that I wanted a new microphone because mine broke, and they went above and beyond and got me like, here, let's see. This beauty right here. Look at that. It's like heavy. It's so heavy duty. It's amazing. It has so many features. It's simple to use, which is surprising. And so I am trying to get used to it. So I do apologize if things are too loud or too soft. I will be listening to this video on playback to see what I can fix. So I hope it's not too bad. I'm just setting it over to the side here because I'm not sure how close it needs to be to me. Yeah, so anyhow, let's get started. So this was the first layout of November. This was for Confessions of a Paper Addict, my first layout back with them on the design team. And it was for the November, was it November 1st? Cut file release, I believe. And I think it was the first. But anyhow, so this banner here, it's the fall banner. This was for the release, and I cut it out on some craft cardstock and then used my Shimmers paints to color it in. So you can kind of see the shine on like the leaves and the birds. And I'm absolutely in love with copper, especially for fall, but just kind of in general, I kind of love copper. And so I painted the whole cut file except for like the actual banner part. I backed it with some parchment paper, and then I layered a second cut file. And this is an older cut file. This is from last year, I believe, and I think it's called the Fall Leaf Corners. There is a video for this if you want more specifics. And I just cut out two of them because it's just a corner like border piece, and I cut out two of them. And then I did some gold stitching on the background. I'm a huge fan of the white on white effect. And then I thought that the stitching added like a fun little element behind it that made it a little unexpected. And then I kind of just went simple, added my title, added some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins, and that was pretty much it. I think this is the only embellishment I added that isn't like a sequin. So that was the first one. Next up, I have this beauty for Cardstock Warehouse design team, and I created this turkey. Sorry, totally just spaced on what it was called. I created this turkey using some scraps of cardstock, and then I cut the turkey body out of a scrap of the, this is the cherry wood veneer paper. If you have not tried their wood veneer paper, I highly recommend it. It's very thin, so you can use it in your cutting machine. You do have to slow it down so that it doesn't split, but I've never had a problem with it. And it is like the most beautiful, oh, let's see, beautiful wood grain. I don't know if it's going to focus there. So then I created these feathers just with some scissors, and then I added a little bit of shimmer to them with some paints. And then I used the Simple Stories fall collection that I'm blanking on what it's called, Cozy Days or something like that. And I believe this was from a Hip Kit Club kit. So, and then I added Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins and a little title. And yeah, I really, really love that turkey. It's so much fun. There's a video for that as well, I believe. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I didn't do a video for that, but there is a blog post for that one that has more specific information. I did do a home decor piece that I have hanging on my wall for shimmers as well for November. And there's a video for that. It just is it says choose joy, and then I painted everything in, and it's really pretty. So if you're interested. This one was for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and this one got a little away from me, I'm not gonna lie. It did get a little crazy busy, but I absolutely love it. So the photo is of my daughter when we were at Disney World, and she loved Toy Story, and so we got a picture of her with Buzz. And so this Out of This World cut file was perfect for that. I just backed it with a bunch of little scraps. And then I also used the Night Sky Star cut file, and I kind of repeated it on my background so that it would cut out a lot of stars. And then I did some more stitching with silver thread around here. I just titled it You Are Out of This World. And it's just really fun and playful and pretty. And this could definitely be a boy or a girl layout very easily. And I just love that. Sorry, my daughter was texting me. They're going to be going back to school now, like in person in a couple of weeks. And instead of sending all this information out in an email, they are like slowly giving the kids the information, which just want to pull my hair out. So anyhow, this is made with the Hip Kit Club kit as well. And maybe, I don't remember what I made this for, actually. I think this is for the everyday inspiration for November. And so using a lot of the simple stories, I decided to cut out, there was this cut apart sheet with a bunch of tags on it, and I just layered them down. I used this beautiful photo of my daughter Claire, and then I just kind of added a bunch of embellishments. There was a lot of things like squirrels and acorns, has nothing to do with a picture, but I just figured I was gonna like stick with that theme once I picked it out. Squirrels and acorns. We're just gonna go with it and just you know, love it. So I think I pulled out everything that had a squirrel or an acorn on it and stuck it on this page. I added some Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins and some wood veneer hearts, also from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and yeah, just lots of fun. I can't remember what our inspiration was. I apologize. I don't remember. Next up, let's see. I'm trying to do these in order. So I think we are entering December now. I did make a Spiegel Mom Scraps, another thing for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and that was a letterboard decoration that says thankful, and I do have a video for that. That was a super quick project. But yes, so let's just see here. Okay, so then we started, Christy and I started the 12 Days of Christmas, and we did holiday music this time around, and I think these are in order, but they might not be, so I apologize if they are not. But this was, I believe, day one, and Santa Baby, obviously. So I don't know. Again, this layout kind of got away from me. Like I don't know, just whatever. So I had pulled out my Christmas stuff, and I felt like I had to use it, which I think maybe that was the problem, was kind of forcing myself into like using Christmas stuff. But so I cut apart this sheet of paper, and then it was like a diagonal stripe pattern, and then I rotated the squares so that they would kind of make a different background here, and that's from Michael's Hot Buy pad. And then I used kind of a, we're going to say a neutral piece in the center here. I had this cute photo, a Snapchat photo of my daughter that I had printed in color and black and white, and then I just cut out some little cut apart pieces, added a few stickers, and then just added the subtitle, I've been an angel all year, which is from the song, if you don't know the song. Apologize, my dogs are getting a little nutso in the background here, but Yeah, so just a cute, fun layout for Santa Baby for 12 days. Next up, and I don't remember, again, if this is in order. I think this is day 2 in Deck the Halls. And so this is also for Confessions of a Paper Addict. Evie, could you please let them outside? Thank you. And so Deck the Halls. And so I have pictures of us putting up our tree last year. I used cut files from the 2nd November release. And actually these were from November, now that I remember. I think we started right after Thanksgiving, but anyhow. There was this shelf cut file that has like a bunch of books and things on it. And then this is from one called Build a Light, I think, cut file from 2019. And so I added all of the lights and kind of welded them as part of the cut file. I cut out a piece of birch wood veneer to cover the shelves to make them look like real shelves. And then I used shimmers paints and then some different papers to back and like decorate the cut files. So you can see like the shiny things. I used mirror cardstock to back the mirror on the shelf. I did cover the books up with the photos because I wanted them to look like they were sitting on the shelves and there just wasn't enough space. And then I just decorated using some stickers and some cut apart things. I added this little piece hanging down. These are actually stickers, and then just put a bow on top of it. But I was able to use up some embellishments, like this rubber charm thing and one of those mason jars. I think that's like I cut it out of a 6x6 paper, I think. But yeah, it's a nice, fun little layout, and I thought it was a fun way to use these shelves by adding the lights and like decorating them. Okay, next up we have, and again, I have no idea like what order these are supposed to be in. So I think the next one that I did was this one. And it's for Baby It's Cold Outside, and I think that was day 3. This is a Spiegel Mom Scraps layout. So I used these hats, and actually they are black and white printables that I got from an Etsy shop called Point and Poem. There is a video for this, so if you're interested in more like specific details. And so they had these beautiful hats, and so I cut them out. I just made them into cut files and cut them out and then backed them with a bunch of Bella Boulevard paper. And instead of using the Baby It's Cold Outside as my title, I just took another line from the song. So I'll take your hat, your hair looks swell, because in these, the kids were outside playing. We were actually sledding, and when my daughter takes her hat off, like, her hair is just a total disaster. Even my son's is kind of mixed up, but yeah. So the hats, their pom-poms are all shaker pockets, and then I created these little strips. Spiegel Mom Scraps now carries double-sided adhesive tape in different sizes, and so I used some of the strips and then kind of created these lines underneath the title to kind of create somewhere for it to sit. So yeah, I really love this layout. Okay, next up is, so this one, Feliz Navidad is the song, obviously, because that's what I titled it. And as soon as I heard this, I don't know why, but I wanted to use a sugar skull, and everybody got a little, I feel like it was a little controversial to use one of these on my layout. People had strong opinions either way. So I had this photo, and it's actually just a screenshot from the Elf Yourself app of us, like my family. You kind of cut out people's faces and put them on these elf bodies, and then they dance around, and you can create a video to share like on Facebook or whatever. So I used that as my inspiration photo, and then I used this sugar skull cut file, and I can't remember where it's from. I think it might be from Nick Squirrel, but I'm not 100% sure. And I just backed it with a bunch of things. I'm not happy with what I backed, or actually I think what I don't like is what I chose to cut the skull out of. I think if I had picked a different color, I would have liked it better. But anyhow, I did my layering up of these tags to put my title on. I was trying to use up this embellishment thing that I got from Target Dollar Spot like a million years ago. And I got quite a bit of it used up, but added these fun little things as a nod to a sombrero. And yeah, I think it's fun. I don't think it's like offensive, but other people disagree, apparently. Okay, so next up is the 12 Days of Christmas. And let me see if I can find them, because I apparently created these in different ways. So, 12 Days of Christmas. This year, the lady I worked with got my kids some advent calendars, and she actually got me one too, a Harry Potter one. And so I thought it was appropriate for 12 Days of Christmas. And so what I did is I used a bunch of scraps and I cut out 12 presents. So that's the representation of the 12 Days of Christmas. I used this gorgeous cut file, or not cut file, die cut piece from the Hip Kit Club. This is also from the Hip Kit Club, and I believe this is from my November kit, which was all exclusive. All of these papers though are scraps, so they are not Hip Kit Club related. I added some Spiegel Mom scrap sequins and some of these navy star cut file pieces that I had left over from that Out of This World layout, and then I just added little bows to the top of each one. And yeah, just called it Advent Calendar. So the only nod to the 12 days is that there's 12 presents and we're doing an Advent calendar. But I felt like that was okay. So next up is All I Want for Christmas. And I think we had originally meant to do All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth, because I thought that would be cute, but then I think we both switched it to the like Mariah Carey song. So this is all using Hip Kit Club exclusive stuff. I love this red paper so much, so I definitely wanted to use a big chunk of that on here. I added the cute little penguin guy, and I popped some of these up on fun foam, this fun little flower, and then I used the frames to frame each of my children, and this is from last year. So this was just a pretty quick and simple layout. Okay, so next up is, let's see if I can find it, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And I had these like series of photos. I think this might be for Confessions of a Paper Addict. No, I just used one of the cut files. So I had this series of photos of my daughter last year. She like put on all of her Christmas presents because she got new shoes, new socks. I think the pajamas were the ones that she got for Christmas. She got a new hat and some shorts, and she like put all of her stuff on and then was like goofing off. So I created this little series, again using the Hip Kit Club kit from November. This cut file, Merry Christmas or Merry Xmas, was from like I said, Confessions of a Paper Addict. It was put together. I split it apart and added this was just a font that I have on my computer because I wanted it to say Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I loved the kind of retro vibe, so I added like this little TV, and this paper is beautiful. I pulled this out of a Pretty Little Studio pack, and then I added a bunch of Spiegel Mom scrap sequins because nothing's ever finished without sequins. So yeah, really love how this turned out, and it was really fun story. So next up, I think, is this one, which was for Confessions of a Paper Addict. I think this was the next one. So this is for White Christmas, which I know is hard to tell. I did put it in my journaling though, so hopefully that counts. So anyway, what I did is I created this background using white cardstock. I used a Snowflake. What did I use? I don't remember now. I think I used a cut file. Or maybe I used the backing pieces or the leftover piece to what I cut these cut files out of, and I put it down and I used it as a mask, and then I spritzed over it using some gray Shimmers spray and kind of created this like dirty snow look in the background. And I loved the way that turned out. And then on top of that, I added some stamping with a bunch of snowflake stamps that I had, and some, sprinkles and all that sort of stuff. And then this was one of the new releases from December. And so I cut it out up to Snow Good. I cut it out in this blue kind of iridescent paper. And then I also cut it out a second time, or cut the outline of it using parchment paper. And then this is the layered snowflake. And so again, I used the blue and then some of the parchment paper. And the parchment paper, like snowflake, is super delicate. And I just layered it on top. And then I added some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins. I added some silver thread. And this is actually not a great story. My son, hadn't had his license for 6 months and had already been, this was his second accident. A lady slid through a stop sign and he did everything he could to get out of her way, and she just smacked into the side of him. And yeah, but I mean, I don't know if you can see it though. I really love the way the background turned out. Again, there's a video for this one so you can go see how I created it, but yeah. Sometimes it's important to do those not so great stories too. Okay, so talk about a layout getting away from you. This is for Oh Christmas Tree. Yeah, this totally went somewhere 100% different. So this is a stitched cut file, I believe from Confessions of a Paper Addict. I cut it out and then I gessoed this paper, which if you want to see something funny. So I tend to use my Cricut mats, even though I have a silhouette, I use Cricut mats as my mixed media kind of background. And I don't know if you can see, but all that gesso got onto this. So I have a nice little Christmas tree on that one. But anyhow, that really has nothing to do with it. So I gessoed the background because I decided I wanted to do some stamping and things in the background. So I embossed. Did I emboss? Yeah, I embossed using some white embossing powder and used a bunch of Stampin' Up! Stamps and just kind of went all over the place and then embossed it so you can see. And then embossing resists like watercolor and paints and things. So then I used all of the green colors that I had from Shimmers and just went to town on the background. Added a lot of water. It curled up pretty nice, but because I had to back it anyway for backing the tree, I backed the tree using some paper, and then I added a second layer of cardstock just to make it super sturdy so it'd stop curling up. And then that wasn't enough. So I went to town with the gold. So I added a bunch of Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins from the December release. Again, used some more of that trim to decorate my tree. Used a couple different fonts and a couple of different things. I had these little gem stars from something, I don't remember, and they were the right color, so I just added them on. And then outlined the tree and the outside with a gold gel pen. And I did that because the tree was actually, it it wasn't standing out enough. So, and then I just did this cute little picture of my dog, which I think I've actually used before, but he likes to lay underneath the tree, and I got this really cute picture of him. Like, you guys aren't paying attention to me. What does this tree got that I don't got? So yeah, anyway. And then I added some gold foil hearts, which I actually might have used them all up. So next up is one of my absolute favorites. Like, I think I'm going to put this on my wall because it's so pretty. And this is for Mele Kalikimaka. Oh my god. Okay, so this, I'm not for Confessions of a Paper Addict, but I really wish it would have been, or for Shimmers. Started out with a background paper, gessoed it. Then what I did is I took, so this is the cut file. This is Aloha from Confessions of a Paper Addict. I took the piece of paper that I cut it out of and put it down. So it just had the outline, right? And then I used different sprays and paints and sprayed it inside. You can see it went a little bit underneath, like where the paper was, because this paper was warped from the gesso. But it really concentrated the color. It got that like really silly spray that you always get when you spray things down, and it made like this beautiful overlay. Oh my god, just look at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So pretty. Like, I'm obsessed with this. So I've actually done this technique, I think, again a couple of times maybe now. So yeah, I added a couple of things from Cocoa Vanilla, but really it's all about the cut file and this beautiful like paint job that I did. Super excited about it. I did some stamping. So I used this from Pink Paisley. I have these alpha stamps, and so I just did Merry Christmas from the land where palm trees sway, because we are actually in Florida the week before Christmas. We left on the 23rd, I believe. So it was perfect. This was just a cute photo of the kids when we got there from the balcony of our suite. And then I just added some cut apart things that says all is calm, all is bright, winter adventure, and welcome winter, because it was like 80 degrees in Florida. It was -20 or something in Wisconsin, and yeah, tons of snow, ice everywhere, disaster. And then I just added some Spiegel Mom scrap sequins. Love this layout. I'm pretty sure it's going on my wall. I just got to figure out which one to take down and put it up. Okay, then, what was my day 10? Day 10. I don't know. Oh, maybe that was my day 10. I think I labeled some of these incorrectly. Okay, so then next up we have this one. And I titled it Joyful Memories, and I can't remember what the name of the song was that we were using. But again, using my November Hip Kit Club, I added some fancy trim here. I've got some tulle and some crepe paper, stitched everything down, stitched around the outside. My dog is losing his mind outside. Like, ugh. And then just layered things up. I added a picture of my kiddos in front of the tree before they opened their presents. Again, this is from 2019. I tend to scrap all of my Christmas stuff like the year later. Added some of these little puffy dots. I finally used one of my Felicity Jane, what do you call them? Flare badges. I don't usually like to use these on layouts because I find they rust over time, but it was so perfect, so I added it. Had this little piece on my desk, so just created a bow, used the rest of my pom-pom stuff up. I got to get more of that. I think I get that at Joann's, so I'll have to go see. But yeah, just a simple, like really impactful layout, I feel. Like I really love all the red. Okay, so then day 12, this one came a little late because we were just, life. Yeah. So it's Marshmallow World by Dean Martin. I don't know if he was the original one to do it, but that's the version I know. So I started out by stamping all of my snowflake stamps in the background. I used a bunch of different stamps and just some, I think I used Stays On ink. I don't remember, but there is a video for this one. And then I kind of kept it simple. So it's my dog playing in the snow. We had gotten a bunch of snow, and it probably wasn't the first snow, but it was like our first big snowstorm. And so it's just her playing in the snow. And sometimes I like to get that before they poop all over it. Because, you know, even if you pick up the poop, it still ruins the snow. So anyway, stamped on the background, added some splatters. All I did with the photos was backed them with some of this tissue paper that came in the Hip Kit Club. I used some of these labels from Pretty Little Studio, added a bunch of Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins, and then stamped this Hello Winter, and then just added my title, which is technically the title of the song, but it's also a line from it. So yeah, really, really like how this turned out. Okay, so then I have a few others here, and I have no idea. So this one was for December for Nope, it was not for Confessions of a Paper Addict. It was for Cardstock Warehouse. So I got a hold of the pink glitter paper, which, okay, if you like glitter paper, but you don't like the glitter paper that sheds, this is the paper for you. It's called Mirror Sparkle, and the glitter is actually in the paper. So it doesn't rub off. It's part of the paper. It doesn't come off. I suppose if you scraped it super hard, it might, but you don't have to worry about it getting glitter everywhere. And I was going to cut this cut file out using that paper, but then I decided I really liked it as the background. So I left that as the background. I cut out 2 of these snowflake border pieces. This is from Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I cut it out of the, I think it's called, there's a blog post, and I think there's also a video for this, so I probably have this name wrong, but I think it might be like Blueberry Snow Cone or something similar to that. It's a light blue. And so I cut it out twice. I layered the white one over the blue one and then used the sparkle as the background. This is actually some trees that I created in 2019 during the card series that I do with Jennifer, which we kind of, again, life couldn't do this year. We did one card, and unfortunately that's all I was able to get done, so I feel really bad about that. But anyway, I had these leftover trees, and these are made using the Sweet Tooth cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. Sweet Tooth is definitely their my go-to for mixed media. It handles it really well. It's a heavy duty cardstock. It's very similar to the Marshmallow cardstock. And so anyway, I had some of these left over, so I just popped them on here. Use the title piece that's actually a cut apart. So this came together super simple. Like, this was really easy. Added some snowflake sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and yeah, that is about it. Again, video and blog post for that one. Then I have 2 that I created for shimmers. This is the first one. I used this Hello Christmas acrylic piece from a Felicity Jane kit that I bought a couple years ago. This was the exclusive cut file from the color kits, I think, for November, I think. But anyway, I created my own plaid background, and I don't know if you're gonna pick up on all of it here. If I hold it like this, you can see down here. So I used 5 different colors of grays and blacks that come in the shimmer shop, and created my own plaid. I did use a T-square ruler to try to get it somewhat straight, but you know, it's paint, so it kind of does its own thing, but I love how it turned out. Then I cut the wreath cut file, which it just has a bunch of these little like pieces of a wreath, on green cardstock, and then I painted over them using green Shimmers paints to make them like have some depth and different color and make them shimmery. And then I just punched out some red balls, added some sparkly stars added these 3 photos of my kiddos that I absolutely love, and then added a little, I'm trying to use up some ribbon, so I added some ribbon bow at the top, and yeah, I really, really, really love how this came out. Super happy with that. The next one is this one, and this was done as a collab between Shimmer's Paints and Whimsy Stamps. So I had this stamp that has like this girl, this bunny, this little guy, unicorn, and then it also has like all these snowflakes. So those are the snowflake stamps I was using kind of for the other layouts as well. So what I did, again, is I did some heat embossing, and I embossed, actually I think did I create the background first and then I embossed over the top of it? Yeah, that's what I did, because there's a couple of places where it wasn't completely dry before I poured the embossing powder on, and so it's stuck, but you can't really tell. So I did some heat embossing over the top of the Shimmer's Paints. So if you're wondering if that works, it does. It works perfectly. And I absolutely love, I used like 3 or 4 different colors of blue and purple in the backgrounds. And then I did the stamping with the heat embossing over the top. I stamped these on a different piece of paper and then painted them all in using some of my favorite colors. I added a snowflake cut file that I cut out of parchment paper, and then some of the dots and some Spiegelmom scrap sequins to finish it off. And I love this so much. And then I had this one, which was for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I used the poinsettia cut file. And I kind of did that same technique as with the Aloha one, where I put the off-cut part of the cut file over the top and then painted in kind of the area. You can see this one kind of got a little bit more because I didn't use sprays, I used more paints, and my paper was a bit more wobbly from the gesso, which was my fault. Like if you let it dry completely and you did all the things right, it wouldn't be that bad, but I don't have patience. So then I layered the cut file over the top and just did some gold stitching. I was working with my November hip kit again, added some gold sprinkles here. I love this portion, like it's so pretty, and yeah. And then last I did this for Confessions of a Paper Addict. Was it? Yeah. Confessions of a Paper Addict. It kind of didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted it to, but I am pretty happy with it. So I use this winter baubles cut file. It's just all the ornaments in a wreath. And then I use this paper this was also from Hip Kit. I put some gesso on the background and then did kind of my main colors, so red, green, and gold. And then I backed each one of these. And so what I did is I sized my cut file to the size I wanted it to be, and then I measured the circle and then just did a bunch of so the circles ended up being like 1.5 inches. And so I just made a bunch of 1.5 inch circles on my Silhouette Design software, and then I had my Silhouette cut the circles out for me because I was not totally feeling like scrapping when I did this. It has been a hard month, like I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, so I used some of the wood veneer pieces from the Hip Kit Club, some of the chipboard pieces. That's where my title came from. This is from decorating our tree this year, and then I also added a little bit more of that trim. I'm really trying to get it used up. So yeah, I love the cut file. I wish I would have done something a little different in the background, but I love the cut file. So like I said, there's videos for I think most of those, so you can check out my playlists and find all of those videos. Sorry for the longer or the length of this video, but there's a lot to go through. If you have any questions or anything, leave them down in the comments below. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button. Yeah, I'm going to be having a giveaway soon, so tell your friends. That will be coming out shortly. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!